Ladies and gentlemen, so in this video, I'm going to pretty much just run you guys through how I was able to scale to 50K a month by understanding how to put together sales letters and how to write these sales letters to win. Okay, so I am pretty much was going through writing this document for a specific facet of my business. I work with fitness coaches. I actually do this full time. And I was going through and writing this, and I just wanted to share with you guys totally for free what I'm pretty much doing with my coaches that I'm working for, and even what I did personally to get to this point. I used to be a fitness coach. I scaled up myself, and it's the same process, and I'm pretty much just going to run you guys through it right here. Okay? So in this document, I'm going to be breaking down how I scaled to over 50K a month in a commoditized niche by understanding how to write dynamic sales letters and how to write ads. Okay? This is the biggest thing that a lot of people don't know how to do. They don't know how to write effective copy, ads, etc. You have a few mediums to express your thought, okay? And like the mediums of which you express your thought are me talking to you, like kind of what I'm talking to you right here. So speech and text. Those are pretty much the only two mediums that I can express some form of dialogue. Sure, I can do like some form of like hand gestures, sign language, but the most common will always be speech and text. And even if you're talking about speech, what are you talking about? You're probably going to be reading something. There's a script behind there. Think about movies. Movies are speech, but they are reading something that has been written. So writing is one of the most high leverage skills if you actually know how to do this properly, and actually go about this. So in this document, I'm going to run you guys through it. I'm going to try to keep it somewhat brief. I'm not going to try to make this extremely long, some like my other videos, but I'm going to try to kind of express to you the process. Okay. So this document is not a one-stop shop to write just like, hey, you should write an ad like this, or hey, you should write an ad like that. It's not like that. This is kind of an ongoing process that's going to be going forever, kind of ongoing forever. So for you personally, if you're watching this and you're expecting to just kind of go through this video with me here and just be like, oh, I'm going to learn how to write an ad, turn off this video. This video is not going to show you exactly, oh, this is how to write a hook. Like, no, I'm not going through that sort of stuff. This is going to be more along like a framework and an infrastructure, because you're never going to just like learn how to do it and then just do it and it's amazing. You're going to learn a concept, you're going to apply it, you're going to fail with it, and then you're going to try something different, try something better. Oh, this is a little bit better. Keep doing this, iterate, and it's an ongoing process. So pretty much in mathematical terms, you're forever approaching the limit of infinity. So like infinity is perfection. You're never reaching perfection, but you're always slowly getting closer towards that. Okay, so what I'm sharing with you in this document are recommendations that I've worked with myself, worked with my clients, etc. Okay, so number one, what is a sales letter? A lot of people don't know what a sales letter is. Like, what is a sales letter? Is this something that you should even look at in the first place, etc.? Okay? So a sales letter is something that's written once and can be recycled infinite amount of times to sell your service many times over again. It's something that displays your transformation, it displays your niche, and it displays your mechanism. So you have those three things, and it's displaying those three things, okay? And it's pretty much displaying these three things in a persuasive manner. So for example, let's say I take a salesperson and I hire that salesperson and I say, okay, salesperson, you're going to go door to door and you're going to sell this box of chocolates. Okay, here a box of chocolates, you're going to go door to door, sell as many as you can. Okay, he can maybe knock on 150 doors a day, max. That's like a 12-hour shift, 150 doors. Okay, but let's say hypothetically I have a video, it's a 30-minute video, that explains the process, explains how to write ads, explains what chocolate it is, why this chocolate's better than this chocolate, why this chocolate's made from Belgium and not the Netherlands, and why Belgian chocolate's better than this chocolate, whatever. It explains why you should buy this chocolate. That video can be played anytime. So let's say I'm watching the video at 4 in the morning and play it. That video can be played many times over and over again. I can pause the video. There's so many advantages to having like a video sell for you 24/7 rather than, for example, compared a guy going door to door and, hey, do you want to buy my box of chocolates? It's 1-to-1. This is 1 to infinite. Okay, so the leverage is very high. Okay, so for example, there are many ways to sell something. You can do things through like paid ads. You can do things through like organic marketing if you're posting content, some form of cold outbound, so cold calls, cold email. And honestly, the most leveraged way will always be through writing a convincing argument. So like this is your argument, and repurposing that through the medians and doing that many, many times over and over again. So like for example, if you go on some of my paid ads funnels that I run, what I'm doing is I have a long video, which is like an hour, explaining pretty much the problem, the solution, how I do things, etc. And then people will come in, watch that hour video, and then go and book a call and then buy with me. Okay? And those can be done through paid ads. So like click an ad, go watch the video. It can be done through organic. They watch a free video, they go to the longer form VSL. I shoot them a DM and then shoot them the video, then they go watch the video. So it all leads back to this main central argument in which I'm kind of going through here. So the most effective way to sell something in terms of input to output ratio is going to be writing these sales letters. It's going to be putting these together. Okay. So like, kind of going back to the door-to-door example, you're limited by the amount of people you can see. You can't see as many people as you want on a daily basis. With this, the leverage is unlimited. Okay. So pretty much with long form sales letters, I've honestly calculated the ROI of spending my time as a founder writing these. And pretty much I've calculated for every hour spent writing, I'll generate $500 to $700 back in terms of sales. So in other words, spending most of my time writing, just going through writing these convincing arguments, will net the highest return on my investment, or has netted the highest return on my investment when I've personally done this. So just instead of spending my time on, I'm gonna go read a book, or hey, I'm gonna go send a bunch of cold DMs to a bunch of people. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna spend my time writing, get that written thing, my written document, my written whatever argument, and leveraging it through some of these other platforms, paid ads, organic marketing, getting the message out there. Okay. And what that has netted me at about $500 to $700 in terms of every hour I've wrote. So getting paid $500 to $700 per hour I've written one of these, which is pretty crazy to think about. Okay. So it doesn't feel like it's high leverage because it's like you're sitting, you're writing, you feel like you're, a little author, but like it's very high leverage. So Naval Ravikant, he's one of I believe he was an OG founder in Facebook. He states that the highest leverage is derived from either media or code. This document is going to specify using media to your advantage, obviously. Okay, so writing is a form of media. So what are the reasons for kind of writing these? So, we kind of know, okay, it's maybe a good idea to actually go about and put these together, but like, what are the actual like statistics behind it? Because I'm a math guy, I'm a science guy, okay? So, number one, when you write these sales letters, when I'm going through and like putting these together and I'm expressing these sales letters, hey, watch this sales letter or read this document, or putting together this media for a consumer to consume, that can be written once and it can be played millions of times. So like I said before with that door-to-door example, I'm limited by the amount of doors I can watch, but I'm not limited by how many views I can get on the video. So in order to deliver, let's say 291 hours of information, it would take me 291 1-hour calls. So for example, this is my YouTube channel. This is a screenshot from my analytics in the last 28 days. So I'm recording this, it's like May 7th right now. Last 28 days, I've gotten about 291 hours of views. So people have spent 291 hours watching my content in the last 28 days. So imagine if I tried to do and express that 291 hours of content by just talking to people on sales calls, cold DMing people back and forth. Hey, yeah, this is how to do this. This is how to it's not long-term effective. Sure, you can scale to a couple thousand a month with that. Sure, you can get to maybe 5K a month, 10K a month with that. Sure, but you are going to be limited by the amount of input you can put in, because your inputs are so heavily going to be tied to your output. Our goal is to get leveraged, less effort for more load, which is how it is. That's what we're trying to do. So like, these 291 hours, imagine if I got on 291 sales calls. If that were each 1 hour, for example, like that would take me 291, like bye-bye, to express the same amount of information. Okay? So that's point number one. You build this once, and it can be played millions of times, billions of times, whatever. So, okay, that's number one. Number two is time spent with someone equals trust. So let's say you're dating a girl. When you first meet that girl, you're not going to be super comfortable with her. Oh, I don't know who you are, whatever. Third date. Okay, I'm getting more comfortable with her. Fifth date, more comfortable. 30th date, you're like, okay, I'm super comfortable with this person. I've hung out with them so many times. Okay? So what does that mean? That means that time spent with someone equals trust. The more time you spend with people, the more comfortable you will get with them. This will lead to more trust. On average, if you are making 30-second reels, hey, oh my God, 30-second reel, I'm like a little content creator making my reels, you cannot deliver the same amount of time spent with short form. So like if I'm making 30-second reels and I get 1,000 views, that's 30 seconds, excluding, let's say everyone watches the full 30 second, which is unlikely in the first place. But let's say people watch the full 30 seconds times 1,000. That's not even comparable to me having an hour-long video, okay? An hour-long sales process, an hour-long piece of media, a document that's super long, that's really explaining the process, okay? So I cannot deliver the same amount of trust, okay, when I'm creating some sort of short-form content, when I'm creating something, even just like, this is just kind of outside of like, the type of content you're making, but like, let's say I'm making not even content that's like let's say I'm a fitness influencer and I'm making videos of me curling, but like going to the gym and stuff, and that's short form. Like, you are now super unleveraged because you're not even providing any sort of utility or value. You're just providing some form of like ego stroke. Hey, look at me in the gym. Okay. So you have to spend time with people and you have to really provide some sort of value, which is going to bring me to my point number 3, which is value is going to be restrained by time. If I asked you to explain the process of losing weight in 30 seconds, that's going to be a lot harder than if I gave you 6 hours. Sure, you could do it in 30 seconds. Hey, calorie deficit, do this. But if I gave you 6 hours, you'd really be able to dive into the subject, give a super complex presentation. Okay? So people believe that our attention spans are reduced. Oh, people are throwing around this term, TikTok brain. They're saying, oh, we have the same attention span as a goldfish. But honestly, sure, that it makes sense. That makes sense. I totally get it, but it's not applicable. Okay? Imagine Quentin Tarantino making a movie 20 minutes because he thinks people won't stay for much longer. Okay? If the value is there, people will stick around. Okay? If your sales letter is shit, it doesn't matter if your sales letter is 20 seconds or if your sales letter is 300 hours. It literally doesn't matter as long as the value is there. People will binge episodes on Netflix. They will spend, let's say one season is, 20 hours. People will watch like 5 seasons in a month. Okay? So they'll give 20 times 5, 100 hours. Okay? So spend 100 hours doing something. That's like, how many days? That's like 4 days consecutively. Watching I'm just speaking in terms of time. Why are they doing that? Don't we have goldfish brains? Aren't our brains like TikTok-ified? Okay? Why is that? Because the value is there. It's entertaining. It's providing some sort of value to the person watching it. Okay? So people are like, oh, short form. I want to make short form content, etc. But my friend, number one, value is going to be restrained by time. You can't provide a lot of value in a short amount of time. Okay? And it's just not true, because if the value is there on a long form basis, just explain it and don't worry about the time. Like right now I'm filming this. I see on the time I'm at 14 minutes, but like I don't care. I'll go to 40 minutes. Okay? I'll go to 50 minutes. I'm trying to get the point across to you. I'm trying to get the insight across to you because I have this insight that I've obtained, and I'm going to give that and express that to you. Okay? So that's number 3. And then number 4, this is production versus production capabilities. So this is a concept that I learned about in the book 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I would recommend everyone to read that book. The premise of the book is around this subject. So production versus production capabilities. And pretty much what the difference between these two is like, for example, if I'm doing like cold outbound and I'm focused on producing, or I'm doing cold calls, I'm focused on producing, and I'm focused so heavily on just producing clients, getting sales, okay? Sure, you can get some clients with that, but when you're focusing not on production, but production capability, the system that produces, that is where you are leveraged. So when you're writing sales letters and building an asset, you're focusing on the system, okay, which will net a higher production in the end. Focusing on producing leads to death. All massive success stories are from builders, okay? So you're building these sales letters, you're building these, okay? And you're building them over time. So like, for example, you're not just gonna be posting one sales letter and then just like running traffic to it, and then you're just gonna get like a bunch of sales for $6,000. It's not gonna happen. You are gonna be building hundreds of these over time, and slowly they're gonna get better. Slowly they're gonna stop becoming more shit. You're gonna become more convincing. You're gonna have social proof, etc., and you're gonna actually get some success with that. Okay, so that is number 4. You are building these, and with cold calls, with cold outbound, like you're not building anything. You're just sending DMs. With content, I'm building a portfolio of content that can be played at any time, anywhere, and I'm building an audience as well, which are invested in myself. I'm not building an audience with doing cold outbound. I'm not building an audience doing cold calls. I'm not building anything, okay? All massive success stories are builders. Look at Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs. They built these products, okay? And people came to use these products, okay? They weren't out there, hammering the phones. Hey, I just made this new Apple iPhone. Do you want to buy? No, they didn't do that, okay? So let me share with you some statistics. So example number 1, I used to run short form ads. I still do experiment with short form. I still do run short form ads, but I'm just going to give you this outlook. So in this case, this was back in November. I spent $3,500 on ads. This was over the course of a month. I got 15 meetings, which was like, oh, that's not bad. On paper, that looks good, okay? Which costed me about 15 hours of time. So each of those meetings were about an hour. And I was only able to close 2 of those 15 people at $3,000. So on paper, I spent $3,500 to get $6,000 back. Not horrible. It's like a 1 to 2. Put 1 in, get 2 out. Return on investment. It's not horrible. But wait till I show you this. I also spent 15 hours, which is quite a lot of time. Okay. Example 2. 10 hours writing sales letters. Okay. And mind you, this is organic. So it didn't cost me any money. 10 hours writing sales letters, 5 meetings generated from these. This is in the course of a month. This was I believe this was 2 months ago. Okay. 10 hours writing sales letters, 5 meetings generated. Took me 5 hours, and I got 3 closes at $7K. So the people join, hey, how much is your program? Oh, it's $7K. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Awesome. Let's do it. Cool. Okay. So with example 2, I had more people jump on calls and express that hey, I've been watching your content for so long. I'm ready to go. How much is it? Let's join. And I didn't have to do any sales tactics. I didn't have to do any sort of like Jordan Belfort. I didn't have to do any sort of objection handling. Didn't have to do any of that. Okay. There was one guy who was like, I had to, caress a little bit. That's going to happen regardless. But I didn't have to do this stuff. A lot of you guys are focusing on this producing stuff, like P versus PC up here, producing and things around producing. Oh, I gotta just be a better objection handler. Oh, I just gotta have a better sales. I gotta have a better sales drip sequence in my go high level. I gotta have a better. I gotta follow up with them before the meeting and send them a video of me with my camera talking to them. It's like, sure, you can do these things. You can get better sales. You can get better at sales. But these are low leverage tasks. Okay. You don't need to handle objections. You don't need to use sales tactics. You just need to perfect the writing of convincing sales letters. If you can perfect writing sales letters, okay, and having a convincing argument that can be repurposed 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times, 1,000,000,000 times, okay, that is going to be way more, that's going to give you way more leverage for the same amount of effort or even less effort, okay? With ads, for example, you're spending money. I love ads. I still run ads with my clients. I love ads, okay? But spending money, you're like worried about the money. Oh my god, am I gonna make money back? Da 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 da. Okay, you're worried, so you're stressed. Number one, wasting hours on sales calls. So 15 hours, bye bye, out the window. That's like a day gone. Okay, and then 2 closes at 3K, so 6K made. It's all horrible. It's all horrible. Okay, but I would rather focus on something that has higher leverage, and I'm getting more for less, pretty much. Okay, so if you're a fitness coach and you're like, oh my god, I got to start writing sales letters, maybe I need to think about sales letters, maybe I'm doing short form content right now, maybe I'm sending cold DMs, maybe I'm getting referrals. What I would do if I were you is focus on writing arguments. Get up when you wake up every day, do your morning routine, and then sit down at your desk and write an argument around your mechanism. Let's say, like I can go on about this forever, but let's say you're a fitness coach and you help moms in menopause balance their hormones, okay? One video, you're going to talk about what are hormones, okay? Second video, you're going to talk about, you're going to write it out, present it. First video, what are hormones? Write it out. Get definitions in there. What are hormones? Educate me. Video number 2, what are women's hormones like during menopause? Write it out, okay? And what you're going to do during these, when you're writing these, is you're going to then you're going to identify the problem, and then you're going to have a solution to this. Same thing here, okay? What is the problem? You're not making 50K a month yet. You want to make more money, okay? You're doing cold outbound, you're doing these things. What is the solution? The solution is to write long-form sales letters. Once you have long-form sales letters working for you all the time, which spend time with people, you're spending time with me here, okay, without me even having to be with you one-on-one, okay, and then you're getting all of this of my time totally for free. That's way higher leverage, okay? So if you're watching this and you're a fitness coach and this is something where you're like, oh my god, I gotta start writing sales letters, I have a video below this. Go watch I have a main video which runs you through kind of everything on how to put together your offer so that you can actually get to writing these sales letters, how to find some sort of product market fit in terms of your mechanism, in terms of your offer, your transformation, how to put those together. Because you can write like sales letters, yes, write sales letters, but if you're writing them about the wrong shit, you're not going to get some sort of ROI on that. So go down, watch the video that I have below about how to write offers, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Cheers.